All right. 3, 2, 1.
On the Range Podcast. On the Range.
Bro, we haven't done that in a while. I can't hear you.
Oh, dude, I went to go move my mic, press the button. Anyway, long story. It's like, man, that music, that thing will get you fired up. Technical difficulties, man, all this technology rubbish. I tell you, man, I am getting absolutely tired of having to deal with technology, all the little imperfections, dramas, issues, the social censorship, all this other crap going on out there. But here's the crazy part. Silly Americans out there, they buy that stuff up, man. They eat the garbage that the magic box feeds them, that Zuck wants them to have. It's funny. I did a post the other day. You remember back in the 80s, old Striper, their song, "The Hell with the Devil." Dude, I played that with all my quote unquote violations from Instagram, right? What's it? Regulated goods. I mean, just all this crap, man. I'm tired of it, right? I am about teetotal done, with the exception of LinkedIn, right? We get good traction over there.
Yeah.
A professional style, if you want to say social, channel. You're not out there looking at strippers and idiots acting stupid. It's a good place to promote your business. But brother, we're back. Stuff going on, busy things, life popping up. But for those of you listening, thank you for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. Don't forget, guys, swing by warhog.com, kelleydefense.com, sign up for those newsletters. Trust me, being the blistering businesses that we are with all of our employees, we will not inundate you with a whole bunch of rubbish, right? We'll get information out there. Tell you when, hey, our courses are coming up, latest videos, all that other stuff. But really, the heart and soul, man, is our OTR Patreon crew. You can go to patreon.com/on the range podcast. Like-minded individuals, dude, 100+ training videos being populated all the time. And don't forget, probably the biggest juice of the squeeze is the bi-monthly interactive Zoom call with both me and Mark. Great bunch of guys looking to get, and I use my guys in my unisex term, looking to be 1% better every single day. Whether it's talking about the firearms training notebook, which is available on Amazon, or on warhog.com, kelleydefense.com. Entrepreneurship, leadership, mentorship. We cover all kinds of stuff, man. The only way you're going to find out. The only way you're going to find out, become a member of the crew. For those of you in the law enforcement community, we got special tiering for you. And then I got to throw this out there, man, for my LEOs, June 6th or 7th, down in Holt, Florida, Red Dot Pistol Course, free to attend. Go to warhog.com. Check it out, man. You'll be using Walther PDP pistols, aim point acros, and Safariland holsters. So can't go wrong there. It's free, right?
Free.
And then, say it again, free. The only thing it's going to cost you is your time to get there. Yeah, you got to bring your own ammo. We're not supplying ammo for this one. But yeah, free training. Increase your survivability, guys. God forbid you're in that deadly force encounter. It's a law enforcement only. For my active law enforcement, right? I've had some retirees reach out. Sorry, guys, I love you. But no, I need for my active guys that are out there. We just lost 4 officers from Charlotte the other day. We got to add to their survivability. That is our whole intent running any type of law enforcement course we do, is to add to their survivability. And guys, I'm going to put the burden on you a little bit. You've got to put your time in. You've got to put that dry fire. You've got to put effort into saving your own life. You owe it to your family to come home, that God forbid you're in that deadly force encounter, you're coming out on top. So to my LEOs, special tiering just for you guys, for my LEOs out there, you can reach out to us anytime. We are completely available. If you need training, info, tips, whatever, just let us know. We are here for you. So I think that's our housekeeping in a nutshell there, Mark.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of On the Range Podcast. Wherever you are, thank you for making us part of your day. And we can't stress it enough to make sure you go and check out the crew. You can go to the websites, warhog.com, kelleydefense.com. There's free trials. There's a free trial of the all access tier level, which gives them, like you said, we have well over 100 videos that are always up there, and it gives you full access to that catalog. You can't get them anywhere else. You can't go onto the YouTubes and see all this new training that we do on the video side of the house. It's just not going to happen. It's exclusive for the Patreon crew members. Love those guys and girls. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about, Rick and I've got some things to iron out. I know Rick's got a class this weekend, but we're going to iron out the next giveaway. A lot of fun things going on. But yeah, tough week, law enforcement community. It's always a tough week, but it was a tough one down there in Charlotte. So big loss. I haven't gotten all the facts on that, but yeah, it's tough, man. It doesn't matter really what the bottom line is. It's a hard day for those families and for their mates on their department. Yep. That's tough.
Yeah. And I can't stress enough, we're in crazy times. And if you are a law enforcement officer and you're listening to my voice, I cannot stress enough, your agency is not helping you in your survivability. You have to take it upon yourself to put the time in. You have to have a plan for your dry fire training. This crap of going to the range to qualify, dude, they're just checking the block for them. That is not for you. What I kind of challenge my LEOs out there, put the time in to have good dry fire training. Don't be lazy, right? If you're going to practice draw from the holster and you're running a Safariland holster, keep that hood up. Practice working all your retention devices, because we've seen it where guys sit there and roll them hoods forward thinking they're going to be quicker, faster, whatever. Next thing you know, they're grappling with the dude and somebody gets their gun. You have to do everything you can prior to the fight, because it's not a matter of if, it's when. We've got, God bless, 10+ million illegals in here, mainly cleared out from prisons. And these savages are freaking violent. And you don't want to sit there and run into them and not be prepared. Do everything in your power. Make sure you are training. And unfortunately, you're going to have to do it on your own. Quick 5-minute a day dry fire session can add increasing survivability to you, but having something like the firearm training notebook to make sure you have a plan for what you're doing, always looking to get yourself 1% better, guys. I can't stress it enough, even for my civilians, right? If you're a concealed carry holder, law enforcement officer, military, whatever, you guys need to be training on your own. You have to.
So it's been a while, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we were talking about it, had a little technical difficulties, but we got on a little bit later than we wanted to, but we're here. And like you said, it's been a while. It's been several weeks. Rick had multiple trainings where it required him to travel. Plus he had some other things going on. I had some stuff going on as far as the day job goes. So what we're going to do though, is we're going to start putting out this. I know we've mentioned it before, but the time kept getting pushed back. The time kept getting pushed back from when we could start this stuff. And we'll go into that on another show of why that's happening now, but it is. We're going to start putting out that training, and we're going to start working this stuff. And it's not, like you said, it's not just for the military and law enforcement folks. It's for our civilians too, our armed civilians who are out there and they want to be better at carrying and implementing and their marksmanship when it comes to their firearm. This is the best stuff you can do without going to someone every single week. This is the best thing you can do. These things pop up quite a bit. I think with, our level of experience and the things that we've been able to do for our careers, we're trying to pass all that stuff around. We put out our classes. We understand that people cannot come to them. That doesn't give you an out. That doesn't, well, you guys aren't coming here, or there's no one else around here that can train me. That doesn't give you an out. We will give you the stuff that you need to train. You need to be out there training. Another thing about the retention. Did you see that incident where the young lady took the firearm from someone's holster quicker than I've ever seen anybody? I mean, wasn't even resisted. He took it and then ended up using it on herself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She snatched that gun
whatsoever.
She snatched that. And I don't know. Here's the one part you couldn't tell. Right. And I haven't got the details as far as the holster. Now, let's be an honest broker. If you're in law enforcement today and you don't have any type of retention device on your firearm, absolute fool, right?
Yep.
And to me, it looked like old girl snatched that thing. Either she had practiced so much, and it sure wasn't a triple retention. There's no freaking way,
No.
you know? And even if it had an ALS on there, man, she had mastered that thing, right? So it wasn't like she went there first time, because most people will struggle trying to get that holster out or that pistol out of the holster if they don't know all the retention devices. So that
Dude, the
leads me to
first thing I
believe,
noticed about that, was they're face to face. So that means his firearm was on the opposite hip of the hand that she ended up holding it.
Mhm.
So she was able to snatch it, spin that thing around, and turn it on herself.
Yeah,
Not
she scooped.
low, way up
Yeah.
high. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable. Quick.
Fast.
Fast.
Yep.
That's just an easy demonstration of how quickly it could happen.
Mhm.
How quickly
Yeah.
it could happen.
And the thing is, this is my whole point. A lot of times, and people drop their guard. Hey man, I'm at the station, whatever, nothing's gonna happen here, right? Let me go answer the door.
Right.
Yep. Hey, thinking somebody needs help. You have to be prepared for that fight all the time. Hey man, whenever you're interacting with the public, how many times do we see it? Guys get too close, then you got some dramas. I mean, and I'm not trying to smash these guys, but
No, not at all.
but somewhere along the way, the only thing I can say is their training has failed them, or they were never trained. And 9 times out of 10, they never were. They were never put in certain type of situations to go, hey man, what's my time space continuum? They have no freaking idea. Hey, get out of that arm. Don't be within arm's reach, right? That's a strike to the face. That's somebody snatching your gun. You've got zero options when you're that close to an individual. But then again,
Yeah.
if someone gets that close, then I hate to say it, 9 times out of 10, the skills aren't there either. And it goes back to, we harp the firearms piece, but you know, your defensive tactics, combatives, whatever word, you know, your agency's using, you got to do that as well. You got to sit there and go, hey, how can I defend somebody grabbing this pistol and getting out? Oh, girl, man. I mean, it was like it wasn't her first rodeo. Like, she knew exactly. So,
you know, the thing too is he's probably thinking, he sees a young lady running towards the door. Like I said, I don't know all the circumstances. He's probably thinking she's in trouble. Hey, I'm going to let her in.
Exactly.
Next
Let me
thing you
help
know,
her
dude.
out.
Yep. I guarantee he's thinking, I wonder if this lady needs help. I'm going to help.
Mhm.
And I feel for that. I feel for that man. Feel for him.
I do 100%. But
So,
it goes to show, it goes to show, and we've seen this on the battlefield as well, right? We as men kind of go into that protector style, especially when it comes to females. Dude, they can be just as bad as well. You know, look at I gave you another example. There was a officer down in Florida. This was, I think, last year, the year before, right? Helping a young lady out. Kind of dark, you know, she was walking up. I forget what the call was to get him to the beach, right? But he was walking her up a set of stairs. He's walking behind her, got the flashlight kind of illuminating the stairs for her. Old girl turns around and sticks freaking a knife in his neck.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what caused that? I mean, you've got to have, guys, I got it. You've just got to use caution. That's all. At the end of the day, if you are interacting with another human being, male, female, I don't care. Use caution and have that space. Have that reactionary gap that you can do something. God forbid they decide to go violent on you. So
and this is not bad mouthing those cats at all. You know, we're concerned about them. We you know, we want them to be okay, but at the same time, we need to learn from these things. They're doing their best to be a good person, and not just a good person, a good law officer. And then these folks turned on them. This isn't something they could have seen coming, either situation. But we just want to make sure that we keep those things in the back of our mind, that you never know when it's going to come from. And those are 2 examples that's truer words never spoken. But man, tough. And then the folks down in Charlotte, just, it's awful. You know, you feel for them. I know they got a lot to deal with. But I guess it's another reason why we're so passionate about, you know, just helping, you know, where we can, and getting some marksmanship training and try to do these things. Those coaching squads, man, we can't beat this in, in their heads enough. If there's 50 somethings like us out there, trying our best to get after it every day, we're going to show you how to do it without injuring yourself and getting the most out of your time. I mean, because it's not hard for us to injure ourselves anymore. It's very easy, trust me. But we can help with that. Pat Mack does a great job at that stuff. He calls it fitness, not brokenness. He's right.
Yeah.
But staying strong, and then there's longevity benefits and all that stuff. So we're super excited about being able to really jump into this. The crew members that we've had with us, from the very beginning are great, and we're looking forward to having more people intermingle on that. It's a lot of fun too. The Zoom calls are a blast.
Yeah, it's a blast. But I got to harp one piece, Mark. Right, this law enforcement thing, it's a little more from the passion side, because we both have a vested interest. The key part is we have vested interest. Why? Because we've got family members that are actively serving right now, and we understand the dramas that they face every single day. We understand what the entire community faces, and that's our whole purpose, right? I don't want to see another one catch a bullet, get killed, anything. Nope. Let's stop it. But to me, there's only one way you do it, and that's via training. And I got it where departments are shorthanded. You got people working probably more than they should, don't have enough bodies out there. But at the end of the day, it's got to be about taking some personal responsibility, just like we do at the crew. And if you stick this mantra in your back pocket, how do I be 1% better every single day? That's all we're asking. 1% better, incrementally better. If you can do that, regardless, law enforcement, civilian, military, I don't care, incrementally better at life, dude, you're all good, man. You're all good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But other than that, things have been going real good. Just haven't been on the airwaves, so to speak. Some of the stuff we've been doing on YouTube, like you said, we've been getting some traction, but the LinkedIn's real good. And I've noticed that some of the folks, and I want to pivot a little bit, some of the folks that we see on there, military and law enforcement starting their businesses, man, there's a lot of good businesses out there. Did you see the one guy who does the brewing company that just got a deal with Carnival Cruises? It's called do you know that guy?
I don't. No, I
don't either. I've noticed it kind of popping up, and I always liked his stuff, but he's got a big deal that's going on, and just love to see it, man. That's a good platform. If you're not on there and you are interested in maybe joining some of these, what do they call them? I don't know if they call them groups, but these, I think it's groups. They have groups of all kinds of interest. Yep. It's mostly business, but there's a lot of good connections that you can make, especially on the training side of the house. Training side of the house, equipment, what's new, law enforcement and military.
On everything, right? To me, it's just from the entrepreneurial standpoint, right? And that's the whole purpose of us running social, is to help get our brands out there. Hey, here's what we're doing. Here's what's going on. You can't do it on a platform, on Meta's platforms, right? The only thing Meta cares about is peddling kids. They are the #1 child sex trafficking platform. And I got it. We were doing well there for a while till Meta decides, yep, Warhog Tactical, you're gone. Where I fell short from the entrepreneurial standpoint, I should have been doing more business on LinkedIn. I didn't think LinkedIn was all that. But now when you kind of get the rug pulled out from underneath you, dude, we get so much better traction on LinkedIn. It doesn't be restrictive. We can cross political lines. We can do all that stuff. We can do business lines, right? But you can also target individuals better versus old Schmuckles 23, which I still have people introduce themselves out at SHOT Show. Oh man, I follow you on Instagram. I'm Schmuckles 23. Well, what's your name, dude?
What's your name?
Right?
Yeah. What's your name? Yeah.
Who cares what your handle is, right? But my point being is there I can target somebody, whether it's an agency, whether it's somebody in the industry, whatever. It gives you a lot better searchable parameters, and then reach out to people. Dude, we do a bunch of stuff where, hey man, we're trying to make connections that way. Hey man, we got a free, hit up different agencies down in Florida that are around where we're doing business, or even Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi. It's all because we're doing it out in the Panhandle. and you can use that platform to reach out. And oh, by the way, hey, share. It's super easy to share, right? It's to me, it's a lot easier than Instagram to share, because you just hit the little repost button. It goes out there. You put your comments in, boom, there you go. Or you can just repost it without any comments. I like to personally put comments, which is typically always, hey man, swing by the website, sign up for the newsletter, right?
Right.
Because hey, when all these platforms get debunked, just a matter of time. But hey, newsletter's always there. So
yeah, super easy to sign up for those too. That's where most of the information is going to come out when it's fresh. As soon as something comes out, we're going to send it to you. Plus, updates on the swag, on the websites, on the classes especially. But those are going to ramp up a little bit. I don't know. We haven't really talked about whether or not Warhawk Tactical and Kelley Defense are going to get together this summer, but in the Midwest. But we always are up here during the fall for the American Tactical Canine and some of the other stuff. I know we got something coming up, but that's going to be exclusive. The week prior to the AT Canine is going to be exclusive to a sheriff's office that we work closely with. That's going to be just them, but we're talking about doing some other open enrollment for some law enforcement. And the thing about it, if you get with us and you get with your agency, we will work something out. It was really easy when the local jurisdiction that I lived in reached out to us, and we had a couple of other folks, and we also had someone come from another jurisdiction that just couldn't afford it. They didn't have the training budget. We worked it out. The other agencies were happy to jump in there and do what they can. Big shout out to Indian Hill Rangers. They are really good at spreading the wealth and helping their local other departments, help them get some training. So big shout out to them. But get with your jurisdictions when you hear these things are coming out, especially for the one that Rick's got coming up. If it's free, you got to say something to somebody. Say something. We'll send you some literature. We'll do anything. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. Whatever. This is the part, guys, you need to understand. Whatever you guys need, right? We're not mind readers. We don't know every single agency out there, your needs, whatever. Reach out. Sit there and go, hey, man, we want to do this. And like you were talking about the one we did up your way.
Yeah.
There's ways that we can cut costs for agencies, right? Hey, I can't do an entire department only training event. No problem. Send you a couple firearms instructors here, a couple firearms instructors there. Boom. At least get the information there and then go back and populate it to your people. That's right. The biggest thing we're trying to do. Because, and again, I'm not looking to bash, but I'm just going to state facts. I've been around some agencies and there's some absolute crap being taught out there. And then in turn, if you guys are going to spend your hard-earned money, make sure you're taking a look at these instructors that's coming in and what value they're going to add. Pointing a gun to your head is not a good business, right? It's not a good technique that I would endorse, right? But I would just, you have to take a step back and go, what am I doing? Or where am I getting instruction from? And if you're never hearing the why behind what you're being taught, that should be suspect right there. Or if the why doesn't make sense, that should be suspect. There's enough info about me and Mark out there. You can see our teaching styles, the way we do business. We're not going to sugarcoat. We're not going to fluff. I'm not going to stroke your ego. I'm going to sit there and train you in a skill set because I want to see survivability. Yeah. I mean,
and we're not here to make fun of anybody, because a lot of these things are coming out of places where I think people really think they're helping or doing something good. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's for clicks. Mike from CTT, he had a real good post about the guy doing the triple rack. We just got done doing a course of fire, and he was blazing, man. He was rocking in it. Dropped the source of feed, started racking that thing to make sure it was empty, poured it down range. Guess what happened? Boom.
Bang. Yep.
Bang.
Yep.
Probably shoots thousands of rounds. Someone showed him that that's the right way to do it. Fired around. Thank goodness he was pointing in the safe direction.
You can't go wrong with visual, right? Look. And here's the thing. 3 racks, dude, if it didn't come out in 1, it ain't going to come out in 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
Check chamber, check magwell, done. Right?
Yeah.
But Mark, correct me if I'm wrong. There's states out there that mandate you have to You have to rack it 3 times.
Mhm.
Why?
Yeah.
Again, don't give me the lowest common denominator, because it all boils down to training, in my opinion, and the instructor, right? We've had some people out there that have struggled to shoot. We've picked them up and brought them better, right? Without a doubt. The thing is, if you look at an instructor and he's looking at your target the entire time, he's not instructing you. You're not doing squat. If he's not walking the line, telling you something, he's not instructing, right? He's just there kind of, all right, let's make sure stuff happens. I remember, and again, I'm not bad mouthing law enforcement. But I remember I had a firearms instructor with his red magical ballistic vest.
Great dude.
You know, asked me where my vest was. And I'm like, my vest? I ain't worried about being shot, man. I'm out here I'm the guy teaching, right? You're controlling what's going on here. The last thing I need to do is put more on this chassis, man. My back's crookeder than a politician, man. That thing ain't helping out none. You know? So
I like the whole thing about not paying attention to what the shooter's doing and looking downrange. I mean, you see that a lot. And I like when the shooters, hey, where'd that one go? Dude,
you tell me.
Do you know? You're the one who fired it. You should know exactly where it went.
100%. I mean, that's part of our curriculum is you, the shooter, being able to call the shot, right? I'm looking at you for your performance. And it's funny you say that. It's like, where'd the shot go? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because like, think about it when we're running the notebook.
What a teaching moment.
Well, think about it. If you're asking me where that bullet went, God forbid you're in a deadly force encounter, you have no idea, you can't call your shot. Like if you can't call your shots on the flat range, you'll never call them real world.
No.
You'll never have a deal, right? And I got it. Some guys, they'll pick it up at certain points. Are we saying that first mag you're gonna be able to call every shot? Probably not. Right. But as the day progresses, you start going, oh, okay, yep. Got to be careful with that, you know, depending on the shooter, right? And this is the thing. You'll never see it looking at the target, but like if you're watching the shooter and right before he fires that shot, you see that the old chicken neck kind of come up, you know he's looking over the sights. You know he's looking for that impact, right? Hey, dude, stay in your sights. Look for look for where those sights lift off. So can't beat that one enough. But again, I see a lot of guys getting cheated. You know, they're putting their time in out in the range, and unfortunately, they're not getting the attention they need from that instructor. Too busy watching, dude. I don't care. Your target's going to be there when we're done, right? Just like when we're shooting demos. And it's not a tennis match. You don't need to look. Trust me, my impacts will be there when we're all done demoing. Look at me, right? And you'll hear me call them out. Hey, look at me, and they're like, "How's you know I'm looking?" Because I got both eyes open. I can see out my periphery, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. I got head movement. Nope. No tennis here, guys. Look right here because I'm trying to demo what's going on. Call the shots when they happen, you know, so.
No, it's going to be good. You know, I think now that, you know, neither one of us are bound by certain things. I mean, we never really were, but there's some things we want to be respectful of to discuss and say out loud sometimes because of the associations that we did have. Now we don't have those anymore. Even though we still feel a lot of pride and respect and for them, and we're never trying to do anything. Everything's coming from a place of just trying to make them better and help where we can. Maybe we'll start looking at some reviews of some things and talk about them. Even maybe some instructor reviews. You know, maybe saying, "Hey, this could have been a one-off thing, but this is what we see here. That's a problem," and point some of those things out.
And it's never the individual, right? It's always the technique.
Right.
And that's the key part, you know. I don't care who you are. But again, if you're in the world of teaching law enforcement officers and what you're teaching them is not sound, that to me is criminal and negligent, right? You have to teach them survivability, not some range theatrics because it looks cool, not some range theatrics because it's going to get you more clicks on the interwebs. You need to teach them proven skills. And I hate to say it, I got it, man. If your technique isn't proven, okay, then let them know you're teaching theory. Hey, man, I've never actually used this, but this is kind of my Fandango G Whiz stuff. All right. Is it education, entertainment? Right. And I'm not trying to smash other instructors out there, but I see too much rubbish, and you can't do it when that's somebody else's life. You can't teach them crap when their life is actually, when they're out there carrying that gun for a living. To me, it's your duty to teach them the best techniques, make them the best you can at the time you have them. And then at the end of the day, it's their responsibility to carry on. And that's where the firearms training notebook comes in. I mean, hats off to Mark, because that was really Mark's idea, right? You got to give credit where credit's due.
Thanks, buddy.
No, it's the truth, man. You hit me up. Hey, man, what do you think about doing this book? Right. I remember the day, dude, genius, right? Because let's be honest, we were kind of selfish per se. We talked about our notebooks, which we had our own personal, but how do we put a tool out there that now the firearms training notebook is a staple of our courses?
Oh yeah.
Hey man, if you don't have it, no problem. We got one you can purchase on the range. And dude, every time when you think you've hit the plateau of, yep, I've figured out what I can use the book for, dude, I'm going to tell you this. We incorporated it a couple weeks ago. I was out in Nashville running a low light class.
Yeah.
Who's gathering data when they're shooting low light? Warhawk Tactical's out there, firearms training notebook, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Dude. Why? It's just,
why wouldn't you?
You have these little epiphany moments to go, hey man, let's just see. Let's figure out. Because all the timer it's just a data collection contraption, right? And all we're doing is taking that data and writing it down in the book. And it was like, worked out great, man. Red lens flashlight, all tacky-esque, right? Stand back, boys. Here we go. Let's get some data in the books. And guys were loving it, right? Because unless you know what your numbers are, you're just guessing. And that just put one more piece of data in there, another use. And here's the thing, guys, if you're running the firearms training notebook and you've got something new that you're doing that you haven't heard us talk about, dude, let us know. I'd love to hear it. Right.
Oh yeah.
It's all about, it's not us as in me and Mark. It's we. What are we doing? How are you using it? How are you making yourself better? Love to hear, so yeah, feel free to let us know.
Dude, I didn't even think about the notebook when I knew you were going down there to do the low light.
Mm-hmm.
I should have asked that. Hey man, did you guys take any data? But it sounds like you did, and it worked out good.
Dude, we took data all the time. We captured data first thing. And I'm not going to let any secrets out of the bag, come to a course, you'll figure out what we do first thing. Right. But yeah, it's constant data collection, and let's just see, let's just compare, right? Where are we at day? Where are we at night? Where, are our splits the same, draw to first shot, all these things is just trying to make that, the shooters that much better. They've got their information, and then, hey man, they can develop their own training plan once they go home. And the beauty is having that indoor range. Because it's funny, we got another one coming up this coming weekend. We're up in Easton, Pennsylvania. Heritage Guild, another indoor range. Well, Saturday, we're shutting the lights off. We're going low light. That's right. During the day. Shocking, right? That's why I personally like, dude, that's why I personally like the indoor ranges. Yeah. Right. For that fact of anytime you see a Warhawk low light, we've done it before, out on a regular range, but it's typically, late fall, early winter, or into the winter, so that guys aren't sitting there waiting until 9 o'clock at night, waiting for it to get dark. Typically around that 1 o'clock time frame, we're shutting the lights off, because we're going to give you some regular during the day training, right? We're just not going to jump you in to doing low light. Yep. We're going to lay some foundational work while we got all the lights on, all the hands, all the other stuff we got to do. And then, shortly after that lunch break, all right, here we go. Let's start shutting them lights off. And we're going to cover full parameters. you'll shoot with no lights. Hey man, if you got some tritiums, you just got whatever. Hey, let's see how that works, right? I want to
Yeah.
expose people to as much stuff.
Yep.
You're gonna do some one-handed shooting with your handheld flashlight, you know. And then, hey, if you got the weapons mounted light, great. Not required, but hey, if you've got it, give you a chance to use that as well. Don't want to cheat you, man. You spend all that money on that thing. Let's give you a use and show you some different techniques how to run that bad boy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Bring all your stuff, what you're running, start working
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing that, that's a mistake.
Dude, try it out, right?
Try it out.
That's the thing. Courses are, to me, a place that if you've got, some certain widgets, hey man, but at the same token, especially like when it comes to lights and optics, and when you start attaching things to your blaster, just make sure you do some periodic checks. We've had guys have lights fall off.
Yeah.
Yep. We've had optics be all wiggly. The latest thing I've seen is hollow sun red dots snapping clean off.
Wow.
Whatever screws they're starting to use. And I don't know the round counts because these guys couldn't give me a rough round count where they're at. But yeah, shearing straight off right at the plate. So you've got the plate still on there, but the optics laying on the ground, and you're like, can't help you, dude. I got no way to pull them screws out. And even if I had other mounting screws, can't get anything in there. So just make sure that, guys, when you're out there, look at the equipment you're using, look what you're attaching to that blaster. Because again, I look at it as life-saving tools. Just don't attach something to your gun. Make sure you're buying quality equipment, especially when it comes to optics. Aim point acro, that's what's running on the pistol. You guys can save you 5%. Use HOGG 624, save you a couple bucks with aim point. If you're military law enforcement, they're gonna sit there and give you a discount as well. So use all the stuff on our industry partner pages. Again, we get it for you guys to save you some money. I think, as you like to say, Mark, retail is for suckers.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, let's go ahead. Unfortunately, if you're not members of the crew, the show ends for you now. So we appreciate you being here. But if you're a crew member, stand by, go to the Patreon crew members page and check out the exclusive rest of the show over there. But everybody else, thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next time. You want to close it out, Rick?
Yeah, buddy. You guys train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.
On the Range Podcast.